In the last session, after being proven innocent from the guards, Cole and Onyx went off to speak with Sergeant Scale, while everyone else went with Sai to find out more about her family history, where she learned that she's related to the most powerful dragon. At the same time, Brontes found out what the magical items could do. In the midst of processing all the information, our heroes were summoned to meet the king.
Whoop, whoop.
Excellent. Thank you so much to our guest speaker for today. Where we left off, the majority of the party was being coaxed towards the capital. At the same time, a secret conversation was being conducted between Cole and Sergeant Scale on the other end of the city. Onyx, being the ever respectful boundary abiding man, waited outside. Even he does not know the contents of the conversation. It is to be revealed once Cole feels he is comfortable enough with his new friends to do so. After the conclusion of that conversation, however, a missive was sent to the barracks, and they were notified that the king is expecting them, and they too were escorted to the central of the capital towards the outer walls of the castle. Cole and Onyx received a military escort, given their proximity to the barracks when they received this, and as such are able to cover significantly more ground in a faster amount of time, and arrive there approximately at the same time as Sai, Calyx, Brontes, and Ataraxia. However, prior to this meeting, Sai, Calyx, Ataraxia, and Brontes have one minor encounter. And then, so...
We what?
You have a minor encounter. I'm getting to it. It's called a setup, Ataraxia. I'm setting it up.
Fucking figured out by
Ataraxia, like, I don't remember none of that.
That's why I said it's happening. Live. It's happening right now. On today's episode of Breaking News. So, while the four of you have left the library, and you are being escorted by this extremely well-dressed gentleman who I never gave a name to and will continue to not do so. He escorts you to the capital. In the process of getting from the library to the castle, after about 5 to 10 minutes of walking, you go through a particularly crowded city center where there's a large amount of stalls and otherwise like quick prop type farmer's market-esque vibes. It's less buildings and more ramshackle wooden structures, and it seems this is a daily trading hub of sorts. The area is extremely heavily populated. It's shoulder to shoulder with most people, and while you're walking, while being escorted through with this gentleman, you're constantly being bumped and bruised and battered around by the waves and waves of people. The person whose passive perception catches this is Calyx. Calyx, at a certain point, while kind of navigating this crowd, you are accosted by an almost nauseating smell and quantity of smell of just like cheap liquor. Like bottom shelf swill whiskey. And it is just radiating in your general direction. And that is the warning sign as someone very drunkenly stumbles into you and like kind of shoulder bumps you, and due to your size almost completely knocks himself over, and like he drunkenly wobbles and steps back, and you think he's gonna faceplant, and he ultimately like catches himself, and he offers a very curt, extremely drunken apology, and then continues walking down, disappearing into the crowd of the throughway.
Do I still have all my money on me?
Do you
First
check?
question.
Do you check?
Yes, I check. I check.
You open your coin pouch, and there's a small piece of paper that was not there before.
Okay, I read the note.
Okay. It says, Warehouse District, docks, tonight, before you leave the city, bring your friends, follow the unicorn. And then on the bottom, it just says WM.
WM?
Yeah, like W.MW, like a set of initials.
Yeah, like, okay.
And then it is written in like an incredibly fanciful ye olde cursive. It's very well written. A peasant did not write this. That drunk guy probably didn't write this.
are all of my coins still there and the papers on top, or have I been pickpocketed?
No, all the money is still there. It looks like this was placed in a place that he knew you would check when you interacted with someone on the street. This seems very intentional.
Absolutely
At
making
least
sure.
he didn't take
Awesome.
anything.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna hold on until we are out of this crowd before I say anything to the other party members.
The center itself is only maybe 50 to 100 feet wide. After a couple minutes of like kind of shoving through, and the gentleman leading you speaking with a bit of authority and given his like regal stature and outfit, people kind of part away from him, knowing that they don't want to mess with that kind of influence. And after a couple minutes, you kind of make your way through, and you enter in towards like the richer district of the city, and you can see in the distance, you can see the castle, and you're probably 5-10 minutes away.
Okay. So I'm going, because I'm with Cybrontes and Ataraxia right now, right?
Yes.
And we have not, and we're just assuming that Cole and Onyx are on their way to the capital, because Fancy Guy said that somebody else was sent to retrieve them.
Yes, he said someone other than him was going to get them, and that you would meet them at the castle.
Okay, so I guess as we're walking with purpose, Calyx is gonna kind of catch everyone's attention and go, "Hey guys, did any of you remember seeing that drunk that bumped into us? Or the guy who was heavily intoxicated?" I take back my words of the drunk.
I'm gonna be honest. I was far too focused trying to ignore the crowd existed to notice that.
I did see him bump into you, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
I more so just kept my head down and kept walking.
I mean, fair enough. He left a note in my pouch. Is anybody familiar with the initials WM by chance?
Can I roll insight or anything to figure that out?
You can roll, I guess, just the straight memorization of initials. I would say it would just be straight history to think if you can think of someone with those initials that makes sense in the situation. With a 14, I mean, WM, I mean, that's not a lot to go off of. You've probably met a couple people in life with WM. You've probably heard of a couple politicians with WM. I mean, a lot of common names start with W, like, you know, Wilford, Wilbert, something like that.
Wilbert.
You're not sure.
Yeah, it beats me. I have no clue what that means.
The note says to bring everybody, go to the warehouse at the docks, and follow the unicorn. So I don't know if this is...
I'm sorry, did you say
there's a unicorn?
That's what the note says, and I kind of show everybody the note.
On the unicorn. This is an ominous message we received from
Sounds
some drunken
mildly like a
man.
drug.
It sounds like a trap.
It sounds like a drug.
Maybe. But the interesting thing is, while he was in my gold pouch, he didn't take anything. And based on the handwriting, it looks like it's somebody who is probably from the richer side of town. I'm wondering if it's related to the Moonglow Trading Company, or it could be related to something else. Either way, I think it's worth checking it out.
If you want to.
We can
By
save
the way,
it
quick
for
question. Sorry, can like anybody that wants to roll a history check for the initials?
I'm sure.
I highly doubt this is gonna go well, but
It's not exactly your preferred stat, I'll say that. Yeah, there you go.
no.
With a 7, you actually think the letter W isn't real.
Is it a Wumbo scenario
Yeah.
here?
Wumbo.
Yeah. With an 18, you know, in terms of like, you're not from the capital, so even with an 18, it's not like you instantly know the location of everyone with the initials WM. However, you are knowledgeable enough just from travel and living life that you are fairly certain that the only people who would have the means to sneakily deliver this letter, who would also write it in such like an eloquent way, but would also not want to just like walk up to you on the street and just blatantly hand it to you, and would go in this roundabout manner, is probably, like Calyx had suggested, someone very high up in Moonglow, given that M is the last initial. As for the beginning letter, you aren't really sure of anyone in the Moonglow Trading Company that is publicly known to have the letter W in their name, to start their name. It's just not something you heard of.
I'd have to agree with Calyx then.
So you think this might... Because the guard before at the warehouse, which this might be near it, I'm not sure, did mention that they would probably want to reach out to us, and that we should also go to the funeral. So this might be their unique way, considering it was only a couple hours ago. They probably want to talk to us about what happened.
Potentially.
If it is Moonglow.
I can agree that we should at least investigate and check it out. If we can convince the entire group.
Well, if we're all okay with it, I'm sure...
We have to worry about the other two when we meet up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I don't know. I feel like...
Well, okay.
Onyx is the type of guy I'm going to want in my corner, especially after everything that just happened.
I'm not saying he's not the kind of person you want to have around, definitely with, like, his ability to, like, fight and hold his own. But after what just happened, I don't know how quickly he's going to want to trust something like this again.
Also true.
Well,
I guess
more so along the lines I was worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean,
I know that
we
if...
can always, try.
Yeah. We'll let him decide, but I know that if shit's gonna hit the fan, so to speak, we're all in this together, and I think that he'd want to be there. And then I know Cole will always have his back. But Cole might want to go just for the reward alone.
So what you're
we'll let them
saying is
decide.
You're using their brotherly love for each other to manipulate one of them into going, because you know...
Not at all. I think
I'm
that Cole will
teasing,
probably want the reward, and I think that Onyx probably wants his pound of flesh right now. If it does turn into a scuffle, or if it's a reward, then both of them will be happy.
That's true.
Or one of them.
Rewards and revenge. Now you're sounding like an orc.
Yeah.
I laugh at the winds.
I was just yanking your chain. I was just kidding.
Oh no, I know what you're doing, Sai. And he just kind of gives like a gentle smile. Now off to see the king.
I don't like that. Okay.
Just for sake of my clarity, were you attempting to hide all of the content of that conversation from the dude guiding you, or were you like intentionally keeping him in the conversation?
I feel like
we're just kind of walking, and he was like speed walking, and I was kind of hoping that he probably had an ear out, but he really didn't care because he had a job to do.
I mean, he hasn't said anything. I just want to know if you're like making it's if you have the intentional effort of guaranteeing he doesn't hear, there's a roll associated. But if you're just like, if he hears whatever, then it doesn't matter. I just need to know, because if you need to roll, you got to roll before I start talking as him as though he knows.
Right.
I truthfully hadn't even considered it.
I really hadn't considered it, so I feel like
it was an option.
In that case, I'll say if all the players forgot about him, then I'm gonna say that the characters forgot about him as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, I didn't, not even a second thought. I'm like, hey guys, I just got a random sketchy letter placed on me. What do you guys think? You know,
random soldier letter number, whatever you want to give him.
I just love the idea. It's like you're getting escorted by an equivalent of like the Secret Service, and some drug dealer slipped a note in your pocket, and you're like, guys, so this drug dealer slipped this note in my pocket. You want to talk about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, what was he doing? He wasn't really guarding us too well. He was just escorting us.
He's wearing a suit. He's not wearing armor. He's not a fighter. But no, I just wanted.
He's a businessman.
He doesn't care. I just wanted to clarify. I just needed to know if you're making if you were taking the intentional action of not letting him hear. Okay.
No, I mean, Sai probably was speaking quieter, but like, because that's just like what
the
does,
nature of it. I don't
think she was even like realizing that the guard was there.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, as you walk up into the general square at the center of the capital, you see the royal castle. The royal castle is located in the center of the city on a notably raised stone platform. The platform itself is raised, and then the castle is raised in addition with a stone foundation. There are 20-foot high stone walls completely surrounding the entire castle. The walls are all manned with a number of soldiers and archers, all in very, very fine armor. The wall surrounding the castle has 2 portcullises, one on either side, and they are both currently closed. The size of the castle is massive. You assume it contains all sorts of different rooms of different functions, treasury, armory, probably enough space to house 100 guests if needed, as well as space for high-ranking military personnel and maybe even a military barracks. You assume important named military members and other things have access to go in and out, but you don't see anyone going in and out at this time. You are led up to the north portcullis, and upon the guards at the portcullis seeing your guide, they say nothing and simply raise the door. It appears you were expected.
Does any of the guards have snacks?
None of the guards let you get close enough to check.
Sad.
These guards, I will say, without even a perception check, have a completely different aura to them than the guards at the fort you attended previously. You, in your experience, the way you were raised, these all give the implication, like, these are the guys that will cut your hand off for trying before asking. They don't mess around. They don't play games. They are literally protecting the royal family of the empire, and they'll kill you if they think there's a reason to, not even if there is one. They are extremely serious.
So no snacks. Got it.
No snacks, got it. Cool.
No snacks.
Cool.
At the same time that you are walked in, you notice on the inside of the walls there are two familiar individuals who are currently being led towards the front gate of the castle proper by a similarly well-dressed guide, and you recognize these two individuals to be your friends. And they notice you, and the two guides meet up, and the party rejoins at the front entrance of the castle.
What's up? What up, y'all?
Hey, how did the conversation go?
Yeah, how'd your conversation go?
It was so productive that I will tell you guys at a later date.
I totally feel that, 100%. We keep going?
You okay? Well, I mean, yeah, I just didn't know if you guys wanted to. I didn't know if you guys wanted to.
I think Cole said everything.
Yeah.
Cole said everything necessary.
Within the first 25 seconds.
It was the best conversation.
That's
Well, you don't
perfect.
seem too broken up about it, so.
I'm so glad.
I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Oh,
He's
well,
still processing.
You haven't
He's
had time to
processing.
process it
Yeah.
yet. So
Brain
there's
is still
like a-
loading.
Yeah,
It's
there's still
Reality's up in the air.
Buffering.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's almost like it hasn't happened in
Yeah.
my head yet.
Oh.
In a sort of sense, it doesn't feel real.
Oh.
It's
You
just
guys-
buffering.
The fort
Well, I'm sure that when it does happen, it'll be a
monumental.
conversation.
Oh, when it clicks, it'll
It'll
click.
be-
Yeah.
I'm sure.
He's still buffering in the
Yeah.
intro. He
I-
still hasn't made it past the title sequence.
He's on AOL.
Yeah. The modem noise.
Well,
God rolled.
What'd you say?
I said God rolled. There are kids these days that don't even know what a modem sounds like. They don't know what a modem is.
Dumbo?
Yeah. The six of you are brought into the, I say front lobby, but think of the antechamber of the castle. And you are all sit on these incredibly nice, ornate chairs and tables. And there's like fruit and dried meats and other amenities at this kind of like guest waiting area. The two guides are still with you. And you're told that basically the two guides are going to go notify everyone that matters, basically, that you're on the premises. The throne room has to be cleared out and secured, and then you'll be brought up. You probably have 10 to 15 minutes of just arbitrary bureaucratic waiting while that all happens in the very specific order that it needs to happen. And once that is ready, you will be ushered up to the throne room post haste.
Did you
Hey,
guys
Sai,
learn
snacks.
anything productive at the library?
Calyx just stares outside.
Snacks?
the sky looks
Snacks?
up to the sky and is like, it's really, or the ceiling. I don't know where we are. It's really pretty in here. Wouldn't you say?
Oh. I think the ceiling
Okay.
could use a paint job.
Oh, a paint job. It's
I
like,
think your face could use a
Silver and
paint
gold.
job. Sai, can you handle that?
yes, I can.
Guys, we're about to meet the king.
I would
Anywho.
literally want Sai to launch herself at Cole right now. Just
Calyx, catch Sai.
Sure.
Onyx, pull back,
She's tiny. She's tiny and
didn't
you're
do
big.
anything.
You can
I'm
grab her.
with you.
well, okay, but as soon as Bronte's mentioned painting his face, Sai was like, bet. You need say less.
Psychopath.
Yeah. For clarity,
Maybe a little bit.
Does Sai actually look on the ceiling, or was she just saying that to deflect the conversation?
No, she was actually looking at the ceiling.
Cool. When you look at the ceiling, you actually notice the entire ceiling of the first floor of the antechamber is a gigantic fresco depicting the events of every king of the empire since its foundation, and it is a continually updated fresco from the very first king to the current king. The current king has no additions because he's the current king. There's just like a white fresco area that hasn't been painted in yet. But most notably, you look all the way at the beginning and you see a very, very familiar person standing in what looks to be a fresco-esque painting of some kind of battle scene with a man wielding two swords standing atop what looks to be several defeated enemies.
Is that the human statue we saw before?
It is. Do you remember his name?
I wrote it down. Give me 2 seconds.
His name was the Sword King Xander.
But I lost my notebook.
Okay.
He died at the age of 30. He had 3 sons.
He did.
So we're about to talk about Trike.
Damn,
Sai
someone
was
took
joking,
detailed
but
notes.
now, like, they're completely silent, just kind of staring up at the ceiling, like, whoa, like, this is crazy.
The weight of the situation has struck her.
Of effort into this painting, and wow.
I wonder
where we are, guys.
Someone rolls over in their grave when you call it a painting. Some artist 1,000 years ago.
Fresco.
I thought fresco was coffee, man.
Sai is literally from, like, the slums. How does she know what the difference is?
Doesn't matter, the guy rolls over regardless.
Do you think Sword King Xander was from the capital? I wonder if that's, like, important, because do we see any of the other, like, great people in this painting, or is it just the Sword King Xander?
None of the statues that you saw are in any aspect of this painting, except the Sword King, and the Sword King's at, like, the beginning of the sort of timeline-esque depiction that this work is attempting to recreate.
Not sure how I feel about that, but fair enough.
Sai still tries to draw on Cole's face.
Calyx is actively keeping Sai away from drawing on Cole's face.
After 5 to 10 minutes of after 5 to 10 minutes of continuous keep away.
Sorry.
Can I have one quick conversation with the people, like, actually not about drawing on?
Oh yeah, sure. Real roleplay, of course.
Real roleplay for a second. Side down. Anyway, guys, when we were about to meet the king,
not just.
We're about to meet the king. Do we all? I know we're not lying about anything, but is there anything we're trying to let them navigate the conversation, or is there anything that we don't plan on saying at first, or who's also going to be our main voice to start this? I want to be ready to go for it.
I feel like it should
I vote
not be
not
me.
Sai.
I'm glad we're in agreement. It should not be me.
Yeah,
I
we don't
intimidate
need
the
king with a
king.
mustache.
He won't get a mustache. It's only fun for.
Yeah, I know, because
Whatever.
we're telling you no.
He
Got
might
it.
already have a mustache. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Who's the most trustable looking of us? Because I don't think I'm trustable looking. Not a lot of people trust.
We'll analyze that little tidbit of information later.
If we're going with trustworthy, we're in a human kingdom. It would probably be Cole.
Yeah. Truthfully, it would. I don't exactly have the best. My ancestors
He's
don't exactly have
realistically
the best
only
history.
true human amongst us.
And based on that fresco above us,
I don't mind speaking, but the pressure is kind of making me nervous, and I feel like I'm gonna word vomit. So.
Agreed.
I feel like
Gotta
Abigail
agree
will
with
take care of most of the conversation, or at least have given an intro.
I feel like we should just answer questions as they get asked for the most part.
Yeah.
You remember?
But I don't want us bombarding
You remember that Abigail specifically said she was basically gonna tell him everything up front to get the meeting. So you're under the impression you're not gonna have to recite like And then we were on the caravan, and then we woke up. She has she kind of said the base concepts of what has happened. Basically, everything you told Abigail when you first met, that you didn't withhold intentionally, which you really didn't withhold anything because you willingly told the truth in the zone of truth. She was basically going to let him know as proof of like, hey, this is real. You should talk to them, and then he's probably going to approach you for details, and then what do you want to do now, as opposed to like she was fairly straightforward in the fact that like if she says it, he'll probably believe it. The rest, convincing him that it matters, is up to you.
Yeah, I feel like anybody else step in if you think otherwise. Right now, our kind of goal would be to get him and to like get ready for the eventual invasion while we go rally everybody else in the other kingdoms.
I feel like whoever speaks to him needs to be very persuasive.
Sorry, I think Addie and we were speaking at the same time. Sorry, you go first.
I was just saying that I think whoever speaks to him needs to be very persuasive.
I feel like saving his own kingdom is like sufficient.
I just think we should go in and be honest.
That's a good convincing point.
Like,
but guys, aside from honesty, whatever, we also need to somehow convince him that aside from this kingdom, this is bigger than this kingdom. This is everybody. All of us are coming from different backgrounds, clearly.
I feel like that would be our strong point.
We need to convince them that we're going to do the legwork, but he also needs to be receptive to working with others.
We haven't met him, but I agree with the point. Hopefully he is, and I agree with Sai that that's like one of our selling points, our own diverse background, showing that like people from every stretch of life are trying to not prevent this invasion, but like put a stop to it before it does untold damage to the land.
Toward uniting us.
There's not going to be a world to hate if there is no world.
But I feel like as a king, he understands that at base. He has to unite a whole kingdom to I can't speak right now, but
Yeah, well, you right definitely now, unite this kingdom, but we need every kingdom.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that he probably understands trying to unite a people and under one, like, to fight off one issue, and this.
I guess let's see how he responds.
All of us.
Right, I agree with that. Let's start with one step at a time. Let's get him receptive to engaging his kingdom, and then we'll baby step it with the other kingdoms.
The very well-dressed guards walk in and they go, hey guys, it's all taken care of. Please follow us. You are brought to what looks to be some sort of, we're going to love this part. You're brought to what looks to be some sort of checkpoint with two guards. One of them is holding a magical wand, and one of them is holding an obviously magical glowing greatsword. They are both extremely heavily armored, and they go, we need to inspect your person for anything nefarious that could be used to harm or assassinate and make an attempt to assassinate on the king's life.
Right.
You're both going to be subject to a physical and magical inspection. Please disclose anything now. Failure to disclose will be seen as an intent to hide lethal weapons.
Sai is incredibly uncomfortable.
Who walks up first? Who walks up first?
Sai doesn't move.
Whoever pulls up.
Are we basically just getting a pat down?
I'll go up first.
Because I don't think I have anything nefarious.
I think Addie and Calyx are like, yeah, let's just go. Fuck it.
I'll go up too. I'll go up too.
So they want anything that could cause harm to anybody, magic or non-magic.
It seems like they want you to disclose harmful objects, weapons, poisons, bombs, something. They want to. They're not going to let you bring a stick of dynamite and then walk 10 feet in front of the king and throw it at him. It's like think of it like the TSA.
Cool. I
was thinking what you meant was like whatever you had on your person, you needed to take it off, and I figured that
like a strip search.
Well, most of the things that Sai has on their person or in their hair is kind of like decoration, but also functions as a weapon. So it would just be Sai taking all shiny things out of their hair.
Yeah. But no, it seems more along the lines of like a disclosure of like there is no X-ray machines, but they need to know. And so
ye old TSA.
Yeah, ye old TSA. So Ataraxia will say she walks up first. What do you disclose, and then do you willingly subject to the search?
I'm obviously going to willingly subject to the search. I'm pretty sure the only thing I really have is a quarterstaff, if he would consider that dangerous.
It's like a baseball bat. They'll consider it a weapon. It's not a particularly threatening weapon. But they're like, oh, okay, quarterstaff. Like, you watch as the dude with the greatsword doesn't move. He's, like, holding the greatsword. Like, if you try something, he's probably going to, like, behead you. The dude with the wand is, like, waving over the wand. And then he, like, looks at the wand, and he's like, is that crown magic?
Yes.
Okay. And then he like, writes it down. And then he goes, okay. And then he gives you, like, a super quick pat down. And I don't think you have, like, knives or anything on your person because you can't use metal. So he's like,
nope,
oh.
I literally, I just looked through my whole inventory. The only thing I have that could possibly be a weapon is a quarterstaff.
Yeah. He's like, okay, cool, perfect. And then he pulls out, like, a little pink ribbon from his belt. And he ties it onto, like, the edge of, like, your crown. He's like, cool. He's like, if you attempt to use magic with that crown, the ribbon will detonate, and you will die. Next. And then he, like, waves you up. And this seems very, like, routine. Like, he's like, okay, yeah.
As soon as Sai hears that, Sai is unwilling to go for this.
He's like, okay. He's like, next. And then he'll wave Calyx up. And he'll go,
do I have to take off my shoes for this?
No.
What about my jacket? Is that fine?
You're wearing a jacket?
Is the jacket have an enchantment that blocks magical searches?
No, just a papoose.
Oh, then you're fine.
Okay, cool.
And then he looks at you and he looks at the giant sword and he goes, anything other than the sword?
Calyx kind of lifts up. I have these 3 hand axes. I have 2 daggers. I have this rapier. The longsword. The shield is magical, if that counts for anything. I have a soul of a wolf somewhere in here, to be honest.
Does the shield fire projectiles or otherwise cause harm?
Only if somebody hits the shield first.
Fair enough. Okay, and then he takes up a pink ribbon and he puts it on the shield. He goes, don't let it do that. And then he'll say everything non-magical is confiscated except one weapon of your choice. So pick your weapon. Everything else is going to be in this box, and he shows you a magic box that it's like 2 feet by 2 feet, but everything he puts in it disappears, and the box never gets bigger or smaller, but it has like seemingly infinite storage.
Fucking holding.
Yeah, and then he's like, you can pick these up when you leave, when you're leaving the throne room.
All right, I toss everything in except for my longsword and my shield.
Okay, perfect. He's like, you're all good, and then he will repeat this process with basically everyone. All I need to know is there anyone who is going to make an active attempt to hide something on their person and attempt to bring it into the throne room?
No.
I'm not going to attempt to hide anything, but do I get the same thing as Calyx?
Yeah. He'll basically say, like, well, for you, he'll ask. He'll be like, that sword. He looks at his wand. Extremely magical, I assume? And he looks at you.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. He's like, cool. He's like, if that's what you're keeping, sure. He puts a pink ribbon on it.
Pink ribbon.
What'd you say?
I said, give me that pink ribbon.
Okay. He puts the pink ribbon. This is actually kind of funny. He puts the pink ribbon on, and then you watch as the pink ribbon burns away instantly.
Oh, fuck me.
And then he looks at it, and he looks at the ashes of the pink ribbon, and then he reaches into his pouch, and he pulls out another pink ribbon, and he ties it on, and he stares at it, and he watches it burns away instantly, and he goes, oh. And he looks at you, and he looks at your skin, and he looks at your weapon, and he looks at you again, and you hear in your head, specifically only Onyx hears this. You hear it specifically in your mind as though you were thinking. He goes, packed? ?
Wait.
What did he say?
Do I recognize the voice or?
No, it sounds like his voice, but it's in your head as though you are thinking. It appears he is communicating in your mind what we would call telekinetically, but you don't know what that means. But it's like he is talking not out loud. Like he is not in front of your friends. He is asking you in private. He asks you packed, P-A-C-T,
He's telepathically speaking to you.
Yeah. He's in your head. Yeah.
I was asking if I recognize the voice or not, guys.
Yeah.
I was clarifying that part.
Yeah, it is not a female voice.
Yeah, okay, good.
Bitches be crazy.
Yeah.
Without answering, can I just nod my head, like not verbally answer?
Yeah. And then he'll nod back. He goes back into his bag. He pulls out a blue ribbon, ties it on, and it's perfectly fine.
Isn't that the same ribbon I got last time? The blue ribbon?
I thought the guards give you a pink ribbon.
Last time it was a pink ribbon.
Yeah, I believe it was pink.
Oh.
If I said it wasn't pink, then I was wrong. It's supposed to be pink. But the one you have now is blue.
Okay.
And then,
does he say anything else after tying a blue ribbon?
Nope. He just ushers you through. Well, he takes all the extra, like knives, daggers, whatever. He lets you keep the sword.
Dagger,
yeah,
et cetera,
but I mean, you can keep it on your character sheet, but like, for the sake of just know that you don't have it, even though it says it, and then you can just always.
I have my sword. That's it.
You have the thing that matters.
Do I have my armor on?
The armor's fine. The armor's fine. It's just he seems to be taking specifically things that constitute like weapons or spellcasting focuses. Or
basically,
whatever.
Things that do damage.
Exactly, and so he will repeat this process with everybody. The only one that I think other than that would matter is Sai. He'll ask about the orb, and then he'll put if you allow him to, pink ribbon on it, and he says don't use this to cast magic.
Oh, okay.
And then he lets you through, and then he takes. Well, actually, it matters for you. Do you attempt to hide anything that would be traditionally considered a weapon?
No.
Okay, then he'll take everything he sees / scans that could constitute a weapon, like knives, daggers, actual rudimentary weapons.
You see Sai pull a dagger out of their hair and hit it to him.
He nods. He's like, thank you for being honest, making my job easier. Everyone walks through. The only one that's different, Barantes, you walk up, he scans the staff, and then he looks at you, and then he pulls out a piece of paper, and he looks at it, and he goes, you're good to go. And then he just lets you walk through.
Okay. The fuck?
Huh? Does Brontes look confused? Can I watch his reaction?
Just not gonna question it and go ahead.
Does Brontes in character look confused, or does he just roll with it? Like, would your friends notice you looking confused?
I'm gonna look mildly confused, but walk ahead as like nothing happened.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Pretty much.
Okay, in that
Brontes, case, you don't work for the Capitol, do you?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Brontes is like Moon Knight. He passes out and turns out he's like a double agent for the Capitol.
Meanwhile, my body does what it wants.
Yeah. He wakes up holding 2 wands of magic missile, like throws them like loaded guns. He's like, "Oh God!"
Can I roll an investigation check on why that happened?
You can. I don't know how much you'll figure out. Let's see.
I don't know if that's beneficial.
You roll investigation. It'll be funny. 20. With a 20,
You're right, that is pretty funny. I like that.
With a 20, you are very certain, like, based on his reaction and the fact that he specifically pulled out a piece of paper after he scanned you with this wand and his whatever magic he's been casting, you are fairly certain that it has something to do with the specific instructions he was given. With a 20, I'll say you're able to read like a small part of the instructions, like over his shoulder when you're walking past, like quick, because it's such a high roll, and you make out like a small part of a paragraph that says like, taller than average drow elf, wielding extremely powerful magical staff, something, special permissions, something. Don't let him leave before seeing Ezekiel.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Intriguing.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Interesting.
And then once everyone is through the TSA checkpoint and is not harboring bombs or weapons that aren't otherwise disclosed,
Ye old
TSA, you are ushered to 2 extremely large, extremely ornate doors. These doors appear to be extremely heavy, and you don't know how they open. Once one of the guards walks over that was doing with the magic sword, and he's like, "You guys are good to go." He's like, "Allow me, behave. You are speaking to the king. Do not forget that." And then he waves the magic sword, and you watch as the doors open inward by themselves, and they sound like creaking, and they sound extremely heavy. These doors are probably reinforced physically and magically, and so this is the only way to reasonably open them, probably in case of an attack on the capital to keep the king safe. And as the doors open, you step into an extremely resplendent room that looks like this. The doors open, and you see an incredibly clean, incredibly resplendent room. A long, stretching throne room with several pools of crystal clean water with what appears like decorative and ornate fishes and flowers. There are small torches and lanterns that are giving off magical sources of light on the walls and in the center of the room. A beautiful red carpet that is leads upwards to a raised plinth where the throne resides. Now, the throne room itself, as said, is extremely ornate. There is with the extremely large throne in the center back of the room. The throne itself is adored with gold and with gold filigree and purple fabrics. It has several symmetrical ornate pillars and paintings of beasts and moments of conquest, and notably is full of dozens of guards. The throne itself is on a massive 20-foot tall adamantine black and gold dragon statue. The throne resides in the mouth of the dragon. The throne is visibly magical and slightly glowing a purple aura. And on it you see a very relaxed 30s-ish man reclined in the maw of this massive stone and metal dragon, feet raised up on one of the teeth, kind of swirling a glass of what appears to be some sort of wine. Next to him are several very well-dressed individuals that you assume to be some kind of advisors. Notably in the room, you see at the bottom of the raised plinth, you see Abigail kneeling at the bottom of the stairs, like by where the symmetrical pillars are. And you see the king himself is not wearing armor or anything. He's wearing extremely beautiful, like purple and gold silk robes. Almost like, not like show robes, almost like today was my day off, these are my comfy robes. Like, he's very laid back. And he sees the doors open, and he silently, like with 2 fingers, gestures you to walk forward.
Question: do we recognize the 2 statues? I don't know if they're real or just on the map. Do we recognize anybody from the 2 statues at the front?
The statues, no. And
what about the dragon?
Are you referring to the 2 on the map? Those statues are just on the map. This is just a map I found.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
The only statue is the giant dragon that the throne is emplaced in the maw of. It's like, imagine a dragon with like an open mouth, like it's gonna breathe fire, and instead of fire, it's a throne, and he's relaxing on the throne, and it's all very pretty. That dragon, I mean, just kind of looks like a black and gold colored dragon. It looks vaguely like the statues of the dragons you saw in the tomb, but it's not like a one-to-one recreation. You think it was just a very, very well-designed dragon statue. The artist, whoever created the statue, however long ago it was, probably had first-hand experience with dragons, that he was able to capture the finer details, but it doesn't look specifically like a named dragon you've seen.
So Ataraxia is gonna walk about like halfway across the room, not like all the way up to the throne, obviously, like halfway across the room, and lower down into a curtsy or a bow, whatever.
I assume we would move as a group.
We want Cole to kind of mosey in front, right?
Fuck. Ignore us, we're meeting.
They probably spilled something.
Almost certainly.
But Cole
he was your talker,
talking for us.
I assume we're gonna move as a
Everyone
group
has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Tequila's on the fucking computer.
Oh. What did they say?
I think they spilled tequila on the computer.
I'm not surprised at all.
So
stop sitting on the couch. Get the laptop.
I'm surprised you want to be in front right now. I thought you were gonna be in back with me.
Pretty soon, Cole's not gonna be able to speak in about 6 seconds once the tequila hits the motherboard. So Sai might have to do the talking.
Sai, we believe in you.
No, Cole's computer's fine.
Ah, okay, we're good.
Mine's on the other side of the room.
Then out of kindness,
Onyx is always last.
I will move Onyx up out of kindness.
Yeah, you do that. We're gonna mute again for a second. And
Yeah.
so.
Well, I will describe, because they're muted, not deafened. I will describe. Once you make it about halfway in the room, you watch as one of the advisory people standing next to the king puts up a hand to signal you to stop. And then you will see him step forward. And then he will declare in a very regal sense. He'll go like, "You are in the presence of His Majesty, the King of all. Please kneel at this time," and he will like instruct you to kneel.
I will.
Real
kneel.
quick, what's the king's name? I'm not sure if you said it yet.
You do not know the king's name.
I not like at all. Can I roll history for the king of the empire?
You do not know the king of the empire's name.
Do either of the people that have been in the kingdom for significant...
The tequila hit the motherboard.
The tequila hit the motherboard. He's gone.
It's making a lot of loud noises, but it's still on.
Probably turn it off. I'm gonna be honest, bud.
This is why we don't drink and play D&D.
This is exactly why we drink and play D&D.
This is why we drink when we play physical D&D.
Yeah. And I will say, I am fairly certain the question Onyx was going to ask is if the two people who've spent their entire life in the Empire know the name. No one knows the name of the King of the Empire. I will say there is no backstory and no history roll. And I will say that it is because the King of the Empire, as far as the public is concerned, literally does not have a name. He is like an unnamed king. His title is King or His Majesty. He has never said his name in any address ever, nor has anyone in the castle.
Do his friends have a nickname for him?
His Majesty.
You would have to ask them, and they seem currently they are telling you to kneel. So you don't know how you'd word that question in.
So Ataraxia is gonna kneel or do whatever it is she's supposed to do in this moment.
Is there anyone who doesn't?
Doesn't what?
Doesn't kneel upon request
no, I'm
of
kneeling.
being
Oh, no, I'm
told
kneeling.
to
I
kneel?
would rather kneel and not get murdered.
Cole and Onyx are currently exploding. I will assume they also kneel. So,
I kneel.
Yeah.
I kneel.
He kneels.
He kneels. And then, so everyone kneels, and then that same authoritor will, he'll say, like, oh, thank you, and then you see the king, he will kind of, like, kick his legs down off of, like, his reclined position. He'll, like, get up, and he'll, like, kind of do a stretch. He'll roll his shoulders, and then he will once again wordlessly, like, lift two fingers in the air and signal you to, like, get up. Like, you could stand, you could be at ease. And then you see once he does that without saying anything, Abigail also stands.
Sai stands, I guess.
Stand with Abigail.
I'm gonna stand.
Just so we're clear, we're back.
Cool.
If my computer randomly shuts off at some point,
Yeah.
You'll see
it
Onyx
log off.
leave the chat.
Yeah. It's okay. It's bound to happen eventually.
Please don't say that.
Yeah. And now, so with courtesy out of the way, you see the king kind of standing there, and then he in no particular emotion in his his gait or like the way he moves. He seems extremely relaxed, very nonplussed, very laissez-faire, and he will stand up in front of the throne and he'll look out at you and he'll go, "So Abigail, she's told me some things. They seem rather important. She has no reason to lie to me, nor is she one that I know to be easily tricked, which leads me to believe that the things she said are true. As it stands, it seems like me and the six of you have a lot of discussion in front of us. So let's start at the beginning. What is your plan? Because I have mine, but I have yet to know if you are competent at being part of it."
Well,
Ooh, that definitely settles on
Is Cole
Sai's
back and ready?
terrible way.
yeah,
We're good.
I don't know if we're good, but I'm back. So Cole's gonna kind of take a little half step forward just to make sure he knows I'm the one speaking.
Yeah.
So as far as right now, we're just trying to get everyone on the same page is the first thing. And by us being here is a big step. We need to unite all kingdoms, alike, disalike, because this is not something one person or one team or one kingdom can take on their own. It's just too much. So we're coming here to essentially get you on the same page as us and understand kind of where we can all go from here, and we're gonna see who else would get involved too, roughly.
That's an extremely vague plan. Can I have something a little more concrete? What is your next step? What is your plan? Who do you intend to talk to? In what order? What is your timetable? What are your means? Where's your funding? What are your capabilities? Where are your allies? Who are your enemies? Give me something to work with. Or do you come before me with nothing?
I'm going to be pretty frank with you here. This has been a hell, 40 hours?
It has been 2 days, yes. It's been about 48 hours. Yeah.
48 hours. This has been a very hellish, confusing, disorienting, tiresome 48 hours. And the fact that we're even standing here based on 72 hours ago, none of this even being clued into our minds. It's kind of hard to have a solid understanding of everything that we can do to save, quite frankly, the whole world, when it was just sprung on 6 random people that we barely know each other as it is. So I'd like to give you more, I really do, but that's what we're coming here for, is to get a little bit of guidance and advice, and hopefully you'll help us on our way as we wish to go ask other kingdoms the same.
Roll persuasion. Just general persuasion.
Make sure I don't have advantage on persuasion. Oh. Okay. Oh, not too bad.
He looks at you with an extremely stern expression of like, there's no substance to what you've said, but like based on what you said, it is to be expected. He's just upset at the reality, not so much you. You get the feeling that his face weighs like that he's probably the kind of person that likes to look at a map of a battle and have all the pieces before the battle even starts to know how the battle's going to end, and going into what he is perceiving as the next great challenge with no information on any of his pieces is upsetting to him. You get that kind of vibe. But he is not inherently upset towards you specifically. He seems more upset at just the circumstance.
Situation.
Yeah. And then he will kind of like rub his chin, and he looks less relaxed. Like he kind of stiffens up a bit. And he's like, so, 6 people who barely know each other, 48 hours notice on saving the world, and now we need to do it all seemingly overnight. I can't say I wasn't prepared for this. Every king of this empire has always theorized at the potential that maybe one day the battle that never ended might one day start again. That being said, no king ever wishes it happens on their rule. And yet here I stand, 6, and then he stops talking and looks at you, and then he does like bunny ears with his hands. He goes, children, and then he goes, all wielding power enough to topple a nation if used incorrectly. If used correctly, to topple the world. And I find myself at the impasse of deciding whether or not to place my trust in the person that the Dragon General placed his trust. So, I guess what I'll be asking is, are you worth my time? Or am I better suited ignoring you and simply assigning my best of my absolute best with the task of doing what you wish to accomplish? Why are you better now than every alternative I have access to? What makes you special?
Well,
sorry.
To be honest, your best men, I don't doubt, can probably take care of the situation pretty good. But no one could, as much as you say, prepared and expected this. The reality is, I don't think anyone's ready for what, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. And the only thing we have to help put faith in you is, as you said, the Dragon General himself had personally given us gifts, soul weapons, and believes in us. That's got to be worth something to you.
Roll persuasion.
Fuck.
Every time
I said the person that did this had to be persuasive.
He has good persuasion.
I got good persuasion. It's just still annoying.
Okay.
Okay.
It's still just concerning.
Okay, slightly worse. Okay, you see his expression is unchanged, and he kind of like, his brow is furrowed, and he kind of like rubs the bridge of his nose with 2 fingers, and he's like, you could see him kind of replaying what you've said in his head, and he's trying to find the line in it, and he's just like, I'm aware of the intelligence of the Dragon General. My lineage has been guarding the location of that tomb for about 1,000 years, and there's no one who respects his decisions any more than myself or anyone in my family. That being said, having never personally met him, and never meeting him in regards to a conversation about your potential, I can't say I'm willing to risk the fate of everything my family has ever built on 6 people I didn't know existed until 5 minutes ago when you walked in. So.
Forgive.
Oh no, you. No, I mean, I was kind of leading into a natural break. So if you want to start talking, you can start talking.
Well, don't want to overshadow Cole. Forgive me, and then I guess Sai introduces herself. I know we're not. Sai steps forward, I guess.
You gotta present yourself to a king.
My name is Sybil Emberhorn, and I know we are not what you expected, nor probably what you wanted in a group to save the world against the unknowable. But we're here. We could have taken these weapons, gone off somewhere, sold them, done a number of different things with them. As you said, they could topple kingdoms, but we didn't. We came here because we wanted to help. We want to save the world. The people we care about live in this world. And I know you care about your kingdom just as much as we care about each other, for lack of a better, we haven't known each other that long, but I care about these people, and I have people that I want to see the future. So yes, we don't have the experience that you or your best do, but I think we're here, and I believe in us.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
No, he had to roll for something. He passes. Now roll persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. There's an order to things.
Sweating.
Come on. Come on. I got us 2. Come on.
Come on,
the vibe check.
Okay. He will, as you're speaking, he's kind of like nodding along, but it's weird. As he's kind of nodding in cadence with what you're saying, like you register that he's listening to you, but his eyes are somewhere else. Like they're not looking at you, they're looking through you. And it's like what?
I was gonna just say insight check, but continue. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can insight check, yeah, but the general description is like he is listening, he hears you, it seems to register, but there's an additional something, like you could tell something is going on behind his eyes. With a 14, he's actually, you know what? Let me roll for Yeah, he beats you by 1,000,000. You can't tell. He rolled a natural 19 on the dice plus his modifier. You don't see shit. But yeah, so he's like, okay. And then he'll lean in and he'll go, reasonable enough. I suppose then I must come to my own conclusions in regards to your capabilities. If I am to trust you, and you me, of course, as we've never met, we should have a mutual understanding in what lies beyond our fates. Abigail has spoken incredibly highly of you, something she very rarely does about people she's met, and having only known you for such a short period of time, it is equally as interesting. They mentioned how passionate you are, how dedicated you are, your abilities, and the kinds of people you are, and you're not exactly saints. He looks at Cole. But I respect your candor. I respect your the lives you've lived up to this point, everything you've sacrificed to get here, and everything that you've learned. So, I will offer you this. And then you watch as he reaches into the mouth of the giant dragon, and you watch as he pulls one of these like giant, like foot-long stone teeth, and he pulls it, and you watch as it pulls away. It's seemingly like a fake tooth, and you just see the hilt of a sword. He grabs the hilt of the sword, he pulls it out, and he pulls out this massive, like, it doesn't seem like it should fit in this emplacement. It seems like only the hilt could fit, but as he pulls it, this sword of red and blue light pulls out, and it looks almost as big as he is. He raises it above his head, he grabs the handle, and he pulls it in half, and he holds two short swords that are glowing, the left one red and the right one blue, and he goes, in respect for your abilities and for Abigail's vouch, I'll offer you something I very rarely offer.
Oh my god.
A spar. Your challenge is this. Hit me once before I hit you. If you're hit, you're out. If you get me, congratulations. You'll be the first to do so. And everyone is going to roll initiative. He will look. He's holding these two swords. And now he looks at you and he goes, it wouldn't be fair for me to attribute unnecessary burden to this challenge. I am aware of the processes of this establishment. I just simply abide them. However, and then he will look over and you will see there were like the 3 or 4 figures that were standing next to the throne, the like advisory figures, one of which told you to kneel. You see the one that is very, very old, and he's wearing like these very large draping robes. You can't see his face as the robe kind of comes over his head, and you watch as he lifts his hand, and his hand turns pink, and all the pink ribbons disappear. Yeah, I'm getting it to you. And then there is another guy in complete full plate armor. It looks like it's made entirely of polished platinum, and it radiates this like holy white light. He raises his hand and he makes a fist, and you watch as all blue ribbons burn away in like holy fire. And he goes, that would have been far too unfair. That being said, call me overconfident, I don't think it will matter. And now initiative will start with Caleb.
So why do we need magic swords?
And no limits.
Poke him. I thought it was just a one-on-one sword fight.
Is this to clarify, is this a one-on-one?
No. This is a 6-on-1.
6v1?
This is a 6v1. He has challenged you to damage him.
As a party. He's challenged us as a party.
Yeah, the 6 of you. He has offered. The rules are simple. If you get hit, you are out. So you have 6 lives, basically, the 6 of you. If you hit him one time, all 6 of you win. If he hits each of you once before you hit him, you lose. Think of it like tag, but for keeps.
So I'm assuming that, Could I have kept my short bow? You never asked me because we skipped over it for sake of time. I get to keep a weapon.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you want to say that the short bow is capped, it just means you don't have like a rapier.
You don't have your magical weapon.
I don't think he had it yet. We never actually decided if we gave it to him.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did outside of game.
Yeah, but in game we have not ascribed any magic items. They're all still on Bronte's person.
Nothing. Well, that wasn't the I didn't have the rapier.
The rapier was separate. Yeah.
Calyx
had that.
Calyx had it.
So I don't got shit. I just have a regular sword.
Yeah. Well, no, you have a short bow. If you're having a short bow, then you don't have a sword. If you have a sword, then you don't have a short bow.
You get to keep arrows, obviously.
But yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have a short bow.
Yeah. Even still, it's Calyx's first initiative.
Yeah. I know. I was just asking like what weapon I got to have.
1 second. I'm just reading something real quick before I start moving, so keep discussing.
Oh, it's your turn. There's not much to discuss.
I use like Searing Smite, right?
Okay, at the end of my turn. Shit. Okay. So let me...
Wait, we can use magic. We just have to hit him once
15,
anything?
20.
The wording he used was you need to damage him. You need to hurt him. You need to hit him somehow.
Oh. And we're allowed to use magic now. Okay.
He did not say you were not allowed to.
Kidding.
Okay. So Calyx is going to move right here.
We just got out there to rest.
Oh,
right here. Let me make sure that my math is right here, because that should be 5, 10, 15, 20, right?
Yep.
And then this one is 30 there, so I'm going to summon the Echo.
Uh-huh.
Which I have to pull out real quick. Give me a second. Make sure I remember how to do this.
I know.
Perfect. Okay,
Use them.
Right.
Magic.
I can't grab him. Can I not grab him? Oh, there he is. Okay. And I'm going to attack twice with the Echo. I'm going to unleash... I'm going to attack regular first with the longsword. 24.
Mm-hmm. He will stand there, and he won't block, and he lets the longsword hit him. The longsword hits him. You watch as soon as the longsword hits him, his body explodes into blue and red light, and he disappears.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
shit.
I am very upset with you for this character.
How's people's perception?
No one sees anything.
He's gonna.
I think I saw this tweet when we were looking at the.
How much movement do I have left? Wait, what's everybody laughing at? I was reading.
Hey, I'll cue you in. God said you didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was unintentional, by the way. I'm doing numbers on the GM layer. I wasn't trying to be funny.
Oh,
I'm measuring.
We
Funny because
and then Calyx is gonna... He's gonna stay where he is. And he's gonna... Because that was his regular attack, damn. Okay.
Yep.
And I got nothing else.
Okay. Your turn ends. Next is the king's turn. And the king... Well, the king, you don't know what the king does. I will say, Onyx, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you all look towards where the king was, and he goes, "What are we looking at?" And you see the king next to you, and then he is going to pacifist. He is going to pacifist sword Brontes, and he'll say, "Never leave the wizard unguarded." Does a 17 hit you, Brontes?
Oh, yeah, by a mile, probably.
I would assume so, because I only have an armor class of 11.
Yeah, that'll do it. So you watch as out of nowhere, this hilt burning with blue light, it looks like it's going to stab you in the heart. Like it crosses distance almost instantly. You don't see it travel as he swings. It's just in your chest. But despite that, you feel no pain. You take 1 slashing damage. You do not bleed. You simply take 1 slashing damage, and then you are out.
Cool. Do I have to go move my token back here somewhere?
Yeah, I mean you can
Get in the corner,
you
bitch.
can move if you choose to, but for the sake of this encounter, you are out.
Well, I'll just go back here then.
It's like dodgeball.
Well, if he's going for the most powerful people, I should be safe. I'm pretty weak. I'm pretty weak.
And that is his turn. Brontes, it is your turn. Now, you are out. So you cannot attempt to damage him. However, he did not say you couldn't do anything to support your allies. So if you would like to cast a spell to buff one of your friends, that is not inherently against the rules. Or if you would like to simply cheer for your friends, you may do so.
You're a good cheerleader.
I don't know if you have spells that could help.
What's the distance on... What's the distance on mage armor?
Touch, I believe, and also all your friends are wearing armor except Sai, so I don't think it would work on any of them but Sai.
Yes, then I can't do much.
Yeah.
Other than cast grease on the floor.
Technically, that is allowed.
Well, that would fuck us, though.
It would.
Yeah,
but it's allowed.
Only a 10-foot square centered on a point.
So everyone, except Kayla.
So everyone except for Kayla.
No. 10 foot. No,
I
you just
mean...
cast it right here.
10
I'm not
foot.
affected.
If I centered it, it would be like this. So it'd be...
No, don't center it on him.
Then it would be here.
Get him in the skirts.
Or here.
Or
I should not have left the mage open. My bad.
Square, snap to center.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Huge.
I mean, I don't have to move.
You don't have to move.
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do anything, to be clear. You just have
Yeah,
to.
you
I'm
might
just saying,
fuck on it,
the
too.
way he suggested it, he did not say that, like, you need to go sit in the corner and shut up. Like, you just can't attempt to. You can no longer attempt to win the challenge, basically.
Cool,
But you
well then
can
can I do
support your
that?
friends.
Yeah. So if you
Basically,
had, like,
he's saying you
haste-
can't cast magic missile.
Yeah. Well, you can't do anything
Cool,
that would
well then-
basically roll a damage dice.
Can I cast grease here then?
You, if you're casting grease there, you can. In which case, you, the king, and Onyx all. Well, actually, no, they don't. Yeah. So Onyx and you roll dex.
Motherfucker! Wait,
Have
what
fun,
type of
Kyle.
dex? Like a saving
Dex
throw?
Dex
or...
save. Dex save. And then you watch as.
Fuck!
That's hilarious. You
Oh,
watch.
great.
You
I'm gonna
watch
fall on my
Totally
ass.
fucked them.
as the king looks at you and he smiles and he's like, I respect the effort. And then he uses Void Parry. And a spell cast at or on the creature gets redirected to another creature location within sight. So he is going to take grease and offset it by 5 feet at an angle so that it doesn't hit him and hits Onyx and Brontes. So basically he's taking the square and he's making it into a diamond. It hits both of you. Both of you fall prone because you slipped on the grease. You are now both on your butts.
I mean, shit, with those throws, it looks like they both just fell before
Yeah.
Cruz got there.
Yeah? But honestly, maybe.
Who that ones?
And then that is Brontes. That is your turn. Ataraxia, it is your turn.
Yep.
The king is standing next to you. What do you do?
I wish I had the Wraith.
I know what I want to do, but I feel like he's definitely gonna find a way to make this not do anything.
do
like
it.
waste a
Dude,
level
listen,
2.
You're trying to earn this guy's respect. I think you should probably pull it all out of the bag.
All right, I'm gonna cast Wither and Bloom.
Click Wither and Bloom. Put it in the chat.
Yep, got it. I got you.
Okay. A 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range. Each creature of your choice in that area must make a con save or take necrotic. So the con save...
No! He's gonna do the stupid Void Parry thing again.
Cool. So you
It's
cast...
of my
Each creature of
choice.
your choice.
Yep. Well,
It's
no.
of my choice.
What's gonna happen is he is going to Void Parry, and then he is going to move the center point of the spell onto another creature. He chooses Echo, so it hits nobody.
You are too nice.
Well, if he put it on Calyx, he still would have been in the sphere, and so she still could have designated just him. So he moved.
Literally just used Void Parry.
I was kind of hoping because it was of my choice, he wouldn't be able to change it.
Well, he did not. Yeah, he couldn't change the target, but the reaction specifies that he can refer it to another creature or location within sight. So he could have just thrown it out the window if he wanted. He chose to put it on Echo to show you that he could. But he does lean in close to you, and he's like, "Very good plan."
I don't like that.
Do you have a bonus action?
Plan for a bonus action. I'm not gonna lie, I keep forgetting what character I'm playing right now.
Yeah, you do play a couple.
No, I don't have a bonus action. I don't have any bonus
Okay,
action.
so your turn is over. Onyx, it is your turn.
I have 2 mechanics questions, just because obviously I'm
a car guy.
Yeah, it takes half your movement. It takes half your movement to stand up, if that is one of them. So you may do so.
So I stand up.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm still standing in grease, like, does that affect...
At the end of your turn, you have to roll Dex again or fall. And then moving through the grease
during my
is
attack,
difficult.
If I stand during my
it will
attack,
not give you disadvantage.
Okay, that was the first question. Second question is, my blade is still in a one-handed but two-handed form, correct?
Yeah, it is the same way that it was when you changed it. You haven't changed it since the time you changed it. So basically, you've got your short sword that's functionally a long sword and a shield.
Okay. So I get 30 feet of movement, so
you have 15 feet of movement. It takes 15 to get up. So you have 15
right,
feet of movement.
So 30 feet, 15.
Yeah.
So I can...
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to...
Sorry, I just thought of something. Brontes, did you have the shield spell by chance or no?
I don't think it would have mattered because it would have just brought him up to 16.
No.
It's +5 and I thought he had 13. My bad. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No.
I think it's 13
Sorry, can I move there and then... Because I'm trying to stand more in the middle of the party here.
Yeah.
That's acceptable,
Yeah,
right?
that's 5 feet of movement because it's your first diagonal move. So you have 10 feet of movement left if you want to use it.
Okay. And then I will... I guess the only thing for me to do here is attack him.
Okay. Roll greatsword.
So that's the 1d10 plus 4, right?
No, it's the roll attack. So it's the d20 plus whatever, and then if you hit, you roll damage.
What?
So on the front of your sheet, there's something just called greatsword, and then you click it, and then to roll to hit first, and then if you hit, you can roll damage, and the damage is 1d10 plus whatever.
Sorry, I have 2 blade. I have 2 blade of bonds. I gotta roll this one.
Good talk.
Yeah. Okay. I forget what his AC is, even though I just looked at it. Cool. You meet his AC, so his AC is 17. So you watch.
It beats it.
Yeah, it beats it. You watch as you bring the sword down over your head, and he looks at you and he smiles as like a genuine nice job smile. You watch as the sword makes contact with his skin, that bluish red glow kind of forms around his skin, and the ability that Calyx activated gets activated. I put it in the chat for you. And you realize that because Calyx attempted to damage him first with a slashing weapon, he has immunity to slashing for 1 minute.
Oh.
So, but he looks at you and he adamantly takes his hands and he claps. And he goes, "You would have got me, but you're not thinking 3-dimensionally." Do you have any other actions?
I don't think I do, right? I don't think so.
Okay. And if that's the end of your turn, then it will be Sai's turn.
Oh, I just want to go. Oh, why am I last?
So, I spend a sorcery point to use subtle spells, so I don't have to use a somatic or verbal component to cast.
Okay.
My shocking grasp cantrip.
He is not within 5 feet of you to cast Shocking Grasp.
Yeah, I was gonna move, but now that I see that Onyx is in my way,
Sorry. Do you have extend spell range or no? I forget for your metapagic.
No, she has twinned and she has subtle.
Gotcha, never mind.
Am I really just gonna walk around everyone to do this right now?
You could walk through Cole, technically, so it just costs extra movement and walk next to King Z.
So basically it would be 10 feet to walk through Cole plus 5, so you'd use half your movement to get to his right side.
Okay, then I guess I do that subtle spell I've been casted, and then I use Shocking Grass cantrip, but I also utilize the orb for Draconic Rage and increase the damage if it hits.
Okay. Roll the hit. His armor is he's
17.
he's not wearing armor, but because of things you don't know, he is functionally wearing half plate. I believe Shocking Grass says if they're wearing metal, you get advantage. He is not technically wearing metal, but he is functionally wearing metal, so I'm going to let you roll with advantage.
Oh.
Do I just hit it again?
Yeah, you just click it again. Take the highest.
Higher. Please be higher.
Is that 216?
Oh, what are the odds?
That's awesome. You watch,
really, really low.
You watch as he's like looking at Onyx, who almost got him, and he's like smiling, and then because of your subtle spell, he doesn't even hear you like walk up or start casting. He just at the last second, out of the corner of his vision, you see his eyes widen as he just sees like a tiefling hand come out of seemingly nowhere, like absolutely pulsing with like draconic electricity, and he at the last second he like takes his hand and he spins one sword and like throws it in his hip, and then grabs your wrist with his other hand, and he like looks genuinely like, wow, that nice. Like he looks genuinely like, oh shit, you almost caught me, good job. He's like, he can't know you're casting, you use subtle spell, so he's like, oh, a person walked next to me, I don't see a weapon on him, they're not a threat. He's like, spellcasters have to do things to cast spells.
Question.
You didn't, and he's like, oh fuck, and he got you.
Okay, but like, question.
Yes.
He grabbed me. Shocking Grass cantrip is still currently on.
Yeah, it's mechanically. It's like you did not hit his AC. He resists the effect of the spell because it's a cantrip.
Wait, what?
But think of it as like flavor. Think of it as flavor. Imagine like your hand is glowing blue, like the palm of your hand, like the avatar, and he grabs you in like the forearm where it's not glowing blue.
Other hand to touch him since I have another free hand.
No, because you only get one attack a turn. So.
And then.
Unless you use Twin Spell.
And then I use your sword.
Pretty sure you have to roll. Pretty sure you have to do Twin Spell before you roll it. You have to declare it before you roll it, because then you're just fishing at that point.
Pretty sure, but let me read it.
At the end of Sai's turn, I check this. Monarch Blade Wielder, first time, immunity. He gets to move 30 feet. And so he will... You watch as he takes the red sword, and he, like, slashes an X into, like, the space between Sai and himself. And you watch as he steps through it and disappears, and then reappears over here. And he's like a big red X appears, and he comes out leaning on the pillar. And then that's his thing. He aura farms on you guys, and it is now Cole's turn.
Sorry, we're muted. It's my turn, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So check it. Fellow peoples, I get advantage on my short bow, I believe.
You don't get... No, you don't have advantage.
No, but,
You're not hidden, and you're not hidden, so he knows where you are. You don't have sneak attack.
Oh.
Advantage. You need to be hidden to get advantage. You would get sneak attack if there was an ally within 5 feet, but there is not, so you don't get either.
60 feet. Well, but want to waste it on if we don't have a long rest, I lose it all.
Pull out all the stops, do it!
What all the stops, dude? Just fucking send it.
Fine. Cole's gonna move just a hair. I'm gonna go up 5 and then over, and then here it's 25. I'm just gonna do what I want. Let me do what I want to do.
That's more.
Do it.
That.
I'm
it's
only
okay.
moving
Let him cook.
Your distance.
What?
Let him cook.
I'm letting him cook.
I hear Onyx backseating Cole over there.
That is not more than 60 feet. You fucking idiot.
Does it count for the diagonals on Magic Missile?
Does it count for diagonals? No, it's
a straight line.
It's nautical miles.
That's what I was trying.
How do we get into
You know what nautical miles are, you idiot?
Because I think they're trying to they're looking at spell range as though it's movement, but it's not because it travels as the bird flies instead of on the ground.
All right,
yes, so that's exactly what the argument was.
All right, so I'm gonna scoot over here.
Yeah.
So I got a line of sight at him, right?
Yeah.
I had one anyway, but
now you have a really good one. He's leaning casually against the pillar.
Okay, well, I really want to do short bow here.
Nick.
Follow your heart, Cole.
Shit. Cole.
Because he's going to do something like to prevent the magic missile, and I'm out of a magic missile.
Cole, follow your heart. He has negated all of our spellcasters. And plus, a short bow is piercing damage and not slashing damage. Just putting that out there.
Okay, so you cast magic missile. So roll, at first level you get 3, so roll 2 more.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. All right, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Cool. You watch as the tried and true magic missile that Cole finished off the assassin with, those like bolts of magical energy that barreled into his chest and killed him. That you're like, oh, the king's screwed. He's out. He's gassed. He's tired. He's used every reaction he can. He's out of movement. He's leaning. He's got his back to a pillar. He can't possibly dodge this. And then you watch as he stands there, looks unimpressed, doesn't move, and you watch as the 3 magic missiles hit the front of him and like scatter off like Spalding, like when you shoot a steel target, and they blow up in different directions. And then he just reaches casually to his neckline, pulls down his robe, and you see he's wearing a brooch, a familiar-looking brooch, and he and he goes, "Never leave home without it." And then he pulls his neckline back up.
Should have used my fucking short bow. I'm so pissed at Onyx. I should have listened to me.
And he looks at you. He looks at you very disappointed, and he goes, "Do you think I'm so stupid as not to think about that? Like the easiest possible pass to this trial?"
You know what? Cole's a sarcastic asshole too. We had 2 of our other people you didn't make comments on. They used the same thing right after another, pretty much.
No, they tried different spells.
But you used the same defense.
No, this wasn't a reaction. This is a magical item. So it's a brooch of shielding, just like you have, that makes you immune to the magic missile spell and resist force damage. You could buy this at the store. He's just wearing it. Well, no, but I'm saying, like, I'm telling the player of Cole, he didn't even use a reaction. He's just standing there, and he's unaffected by the spell. He's like, obviously, I'm going to wear magical items. I'm the king. You'd used a very simple solution to a very complex problem, and he's disappointed. You weren't creative with your attempt at a solution.
Cole's visibly frustrated and says, I'm done with my fucking...
Felix, just throw me at him. I got this.
Okay.
You got
Calyx, it is your turn.
Can we yeet Sai?
What I'm going to do is resummon the Echo right behind him, and I'm going to do an unarmed double fist down to try and, like, hit him from behind.
So you're just going to try to punch him?
I'm so sorry.
Unarmed is blunt.
Well, no, but I'm saying you're not proficient in unarmed strikes, right? So you don't get your normal modifier.
Correct. I just get a +4.
+4. Okay. So roll 1d20 +4.
Wait. And I'm gonna. Okay, you talk first before I continue.
Well, are you about to do something that modifies that number? Because otherwise, I'm going to describe. Okay. So he whips around and he catches your hand, like with the free hand that he freed up to grab Sai's hand, and he's like, he gives you like a look over. He's like, "Oh, you had a sword. You figured out swords wouldn't work." He's like, "Respectable. At least you tried. At least you didn't give up." And then he just kind of like holds your hand there.
Hold on. Wow.
But so I'm going to use Unleash Incarnation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of have his right arm kind of phase through the king's hand and just kind of go for a right hook again with an unarmed strike. Yeah. Because I still had 2 of those left. Or wait, what is that?
Yeah, because I think you used 2 against the assassin, unless I don't remember how it recharges.
So it recharges. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it's a long rest. Yeah, so I have 1 left.
Yeah. So
and that'll be it. So he's gonna kind of like break his arm free and go for 1 last punch to the face if he can.
18 hits. And so you watch, and this is really cinematic too. You watch as the king is like very cocky, casually. He's like holding your arm, and he's like, "At least you tried." And then you watch as like he raises an eyebrow as your hand starts to phase through his hand, and he like gets visibly confused as you become like sort of incorporeal. as like the incarnation engages, and you watch as almost like another hand, like a half of Calyx, come out of his other arm and just like right hook the king in the face. Roll damage. 5.
Oh, that's max roll. It's
max
1
roll.
plus my strength.
My strength,
so
yeah.
max.
So he's like, and you just clock him. You right hook clock the king, and his neck whips to the side, and you see like a small trickle of blood come down like the side of his mouth as he might have like bit his lip, and he like slowly looks back at you, and the arm that hit him isn't there, and you're corporeal again. And then he looks at the echo that's way over, or the echo is like, he's looking at you, he's looking at the echo, and he's like, you got me. He's like, I wasn't expecting that one. Congratulations. And he'll
nice job, Slugger.
He'll put his hands up, and he'll be like,
I'm gonna clap
I'll give it
from
to
the
you.
background.
And then that is the end of the combat. You successfully dealt damage to the king. After much effort.
Are we gonna...
Hell yeah, Calyx!
Making him bleed? Because he technically is the king.
No, he looks at you.
He asked for it.
He looks at like he quite literally did. He looks at you all, and he's like legitimately smiling, and he's like, all right. He's like, good job. And you see like he's not as reserved and like laissez-faire as he was when he first met you. Like, now that his blood's kind of gotten pumping, he's seen what you're made of. He's seen, like, the way you do things. He's like, all right. He's like, this is good job. Like, he's like, you don't know how many times I've had people come in here and thinking that they could, like, be a big man, show me up, be better, to out-talk or out-think or outdo. Everyone comes in here with an attitude. Everyone thinks they're better. But no one's ever actually able to do anything. He's like, I thought, 6-on-1... it's fair enough for you guys, but you guys got some wacky skills that I've not seen before. I like it. You guys might just be just wily enough, just kooky enough, just unpredictable enough. You might just pull this off. Maybe. And then he'll look, you can see through the echo, right?
No.
No? Okay.
I cannot.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
But are you like, I'm assuming, like, the fight's over. Are you guys gonna, like, reconsolidate?
Yeah, I can swap places with the Echo if that makes it better, just so that way I'm, like, face-to-face with the king.
Yeah. Well, I can say, like, if it doesn't matter either way, but, like, he doesn't understand the difference between Echo and Calyx, so he's gonna turn to face Echo and, like, attempt to talk to it. Whether you choose to switch or not is up to you, but I'll say he puts his hand on the Echo's shoulder, though, and you watch as he, like, leans in and whispers something to the Echo.
Can I, like, trade places before he does that?
Oh, sure, you can. You see, I mean, it's not like the combat is over. It's telegraphed. He's like, oh, you see him like Spider-Man Miles Morales. He puts his hand on his shoulder, and then he leans in and he goes, but for the record. And then you watch as he disappears, and then he teleports over here.
Back to the throne.
Yeah, and then he goes back, and you see him teleport again. And then now I go to his character sheet, and he uses Unending Misery. So Calyx, Brontes, Psy again, Onyx, Ataraxia, Cole. You all watch as he disappears, and simultaneously, in a series of like instantaneous flashes, portals appear all over the room, and he's just like falling through them like with gravity. All of you except Psy get hit instantly. Like you feel like the same way that Brontes did. You feel like that blue beam get pierced in your chest, and you watch as he instantaneously teleports to up to 6 creatures and hits them all. And then, or attempts to hit them all. He missed Psy twice. And then you all get like that stab in the back.
He hit me by 1.
Yeah. Wait, he didn't hit me if I was the first roll.
Oh, did I said your name first? I thought I rolled.
Yeah, you did.
You rolled Calyx first.
Yeah, isn't your AC 18?
Yeah. Don't worry, weakest guy got 28.
My
AC's 18.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, so Calyx and Psy, funnily enough, don't get hit. Everyone else gets, like, instantaneously stabbed, and then you just watch him, like, reappear with his swords, like, holstered, And he's just like, and you see he appears out of, and you just see his back as he's walking towards the throne, and you realize very quickly that if he actually wanted to, he probably could have hurt you a lot more, and probably started with that and taken most people out at the beginning of this test if he really didn't like you. You're not bleeding. You're
to be
not
clear. Onyx is looking over at Cole during this, sees him get stabbed, and shakes off his own and is visibly annoyed that Cole got hurt.
Owie.
Ow.
I just imagine Cole, our fearless rogue, just went, owie.
Yeah.
And what do you mean fearless? This man's a bitch.
Also,
I actually haven't seen him get injured yet, to be honest.
I think this is the first time he's taking damage. This is the first time he's taking damage.
I kill more than you, Onyx.
All of y'all keep stealing my kills.
He seems genuinely happy at the result of this kind of like pseudo test interpretation style thing he did. Like, even though Brontes went out instantly and like he watched the grease hit his own allies and himself and it didn't hit him, like, he doesn't seem, even with Cole, when he kind of like called Cole lazy in his attempt at the puzzle, he doesn't seem upset. Like, he seems like almost like elated in a weird way. Like, that aura that he had is kind of gone, of like domineering, like mundane vibe is all gone. I assume Onyx.
Cole high five.
We're supposed to be an apostrophe.
Cole high fives.
Yeah, but then once this is once this is over, he sits back down on the throne and he's like significantly more casual with you guys, and he like waves you guys up closer, like if you guys wanted to walk up closer to the throne. And you see Abigail, she just kind of like just sits arbitrarily on the stairs, and she's kind of got like her head resting on her chin, and she's just like, she gives like a slow applause in a very bored manner that says like she's probably seen him do this a bunch. And she's like, oh, the king challenged a bunch of people again, now I gotta sit through this.
Where's the popcorn, man?
Yeah,
yeah, but this was the first time he got hit.
This is
right?
the first time this is the first time he lost. But the fact that she isn't reacting, it's up to your players.
This is just part of the course.
Well, it's up to your character's interpretation. It's up to your player's interpretation. You could argue that she had that much confidence in you that it's not surprising that you won. Or, depending on your character's outlook, it could be that, well, I know what the king looks like when he's serious, and he was clearly taking it easy. Because she did see him like stab Brontes, but not really stab Brontes. Like, she's probably like, well, if he wanted to, he could have beheaded Brontes if he wanted to. But clearly, that's not the point of the test. So it's up to your character how you take Abigail's reaction for that.
No, I don't say that.
Yeah. And so, because you passed the test, and because of everything, now I can close this. What does he give you? Because I wrote it down. Okay, so he's heard you out. You passed the test. You watch as he reaches into like a pouch behind the throne, like kind of deeper into the throat of the dragon statue that looks like there's some sort of storage. He pulls out a large leather bag, and he kind of like, I mean, the way everyone is standing, Onyx is closest to him, so he'll give like a softball underhand toss to Onyx. He throws a pouch, and he'll say, first things first, the Risen situation. You saved Abigail a bunch of time, and frankly, I didn't want to have to deal with him anyway. That's yours. He hands you a bag that contains, please write this down, 500 gold pieces, 500 gold pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, and then he will, in that bag, will be a spell scroll, and then it is, the way I have it written, it is a spell scroll of the party's choice that is 3rd level or lower. Who decides what it is? I leave it up to you. If you want Brontes to do it, or if you guys want to come to an agreement as a group to decide what it is, that's fine. And then underneath the spell scroll, there is 1 gemstone for each of you. So there are 6 gemstones. Each is worth 50 gold pieces. It can be any kind of gemstone you want except a diamond.
Sure.
Is all of that written down?
He is currently writing it. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, handwriting bad.
That's fine. Tell me. Oh, I thought Calyx was writing it.
500 gold. Just so
no, you handed it all to Onyx.
Well, I threw it at Onyx, but I'm out saying it out loud.
Just so we're clear, 500 gold pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, spell scroll party's choice, 3rd level or lower, 6 gemstones, 1 each, no diamond.
Yeah, and each gemstone is worth 50 gold pieces regardless of what it is.
50 gold. Sorry, missed that part.
So 6 50 gold piece gemstones, 1 for each of you. So like if you wanted it to be an amethyst, it's an amethyst worth 50 gold piece. If you wanted it to be an amber, it's amber worth 50 gold piece. Like regardless of what you pick, it's the same value.
To clarify, just because I don't understand how this works, is a pearl considered a gem?
It is not.
Okay.
Okay. The king, he throws that at you. He goes, cool. And then he looks at specifically Brontes. And he goes, by the way, talk to him on your way out. And he points to that giant, like, platinum armor, radiant holy fire guy who burned away the blue ribbons.
Shit.
And he points to him and he goes, talk to him after. And then he, like, in a very non-plus matter, like, it doesn't concern me. I'm just relaying the message. And then he will say, listen. And his tone gets very serious. He goes, at the end of the day, there are certain things we all need to acknowledge. What we are about to face is, well, to say unprecedented is technically untrue. It has been seen once 1,000 years ago. Not that anyone has lived long enough to remember it. We cannot let this information get out to the public. The amount of panic and discourse it would create is astronomical. There would be no coming back, no organization, no amount of government assistance or overreach could possibly get a handle on the situation, and we would be met with monsters at our door while we tore each other's throats out. So, I am ordering you, as king, that this becomes a matter of complete silence. As a result of this, I cannot officially endorse you. However, and then he will pull out what appears to be a rolled up piece of paper with like a very ornate ribbon on it with like a stamped wax seal that appears to be glowing slightly blue, like the wax seal is glowing slightly blue, and you see that stamped seal is the symbol of the empire that you saw like on the fort and everything. And he goes, listen, this is a handwritten notice of introduction. It can get you into the throne room of most kingdoms that respect the human empire and its autonomy. It will not get you what you want. That will be up to you and your ability to negotiate with the world's leaders. I have some sway in that sense, but not much with the current political standings of the world. The Orc Kingdom has been, and he rolls his eyes, difficult in the last couple of decades. It is a problem my father left me that I am still attempting to sweep up, and so I make no guarantees. The North, a different story, annoyingly silent in the last few months, but technically an ally. Alternatively, you can choose to go on a sort of scavenger hunt. There are groups, factions, that might be, he catches himself, that are valid allies, that would offer assistance if you can find them. But I hold no sway with them. If you believe the legends, there are the last surviving members of the Yuan-Ti, Ophis' creations, from tens of thousands of years ago that are allegedly somewhere in the magical swamps to the south, though I couldn't tell you where. There are people you could attempt to communicate with, he says through gritted teeth, to the east, if you can survive the journey onto the deserted island in the Northeast Sea. You could attempt to find recruits in the desert island. There is a band of thieves and hive of villainy there that they're probably willing to fight anything for the right amount of money. And of course, there are the thorns in my side in the Eastern Plains that could also, if recruited, as much as it pains me, could be considered allies. That being said, for what you do, you don't have what you need. And so he will signal, like, the robe-looking guy from, like, his group of 4 people, and he will walk up to you, and it's this, like, older gentleman.
Walk up to who?
To the group. And he'll unwrap, like, this, like, very old piece of paper, and he'll hand it, like, he'll hold it out. He doesn't care who takes it. And the king will say, "This is the most up-to-date map of the world. This is not public information. There are factions and locations on this map that are not meant to be public. I am entrusting it to you because you are going to need to know every meaningful location that you might consider for your next step. Though I cannot tell you exactly where to go, that will be up to you." And then he hands you the map. I will change the world map in the overworld. I have a different map that I didn't tell you about that has a bunch of changes. How you handle it is up to your own persuasive ability. He's like, do not tell anyone about the map. That's the big thing. He's like, he's trusting you. He's trusting you not to disclose the knowledge of the map that he's going to give you. How you choose to do so is up to you. As for my official support, there can't be anything public as mentioned, but I am also going to have to allocate the majority of the nation's resources into the preparation of the army for the oncoming disaster that will befall us. So I don't have much, but I will give you this offer. If you so choose, I can either give you a weekly stipend of gold, if sourced, a weekly stipend of magical equipment or items, or, and this will be me digging into my treasury, a one-time gift of 2 relatively important pieces of equipment that I might have in the armory that isn't currently allocated to a high-ranking soldier or knight. But you must be within reason. I can't give you, national artifact tier weapons to potentially take outside the border of the Empire. It's too risky if you're seen with them, or if they're stolen, it's too risky. So it would be any kind of equipment you want, but it couldn't be insanely magical or unreasonably expensive.
Okay, what was the first option? Sorry.
A weekly gold stipend, a weekly item stipend, or a one-time gift of 2 pieces of equipment within reason and cannot be magical.
Do we know what the gold or item stipend would be? Like, in terms of...
Do you ask? Because he just says stipend. He doesn't give a number.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were saying that. I'm not necessarily saying I'm asking you if that was told to us.
It was not told to you. He's giving you the option of, like, do you want to, do you think it would be more useful for you to get a recurring source of money, a recurring source of items, or 2 upfront big equipment items, but then no further support after that? He's basically letting you guys discuss which of those 3 you think is best, and then you could probably come to some sort of agreement on what the total would be, right?
Yeah. Your Majesty, do you mind if we have a moment to discuss as a party?
Yeah. And he'll wave his hand and be like, absolutely.
In my opinion, it would either fall between the money or the magic items, because the magic items could entail spell scrolls that I can just learn.
I was going to say the weekly magical item stipend could be anything, and all of that will, be useful over time, situationally.
Exactly, it could be anything.
I think gold would be more beneficial, and hear me out, is we can save that gold when we need to, but we can also use that gold to buy what we need, not what he dictates.
Just to quickly reference so everybody's aware of what they can add to their gold piles, we each, after this, would get roughly 138 gold pieces each. I don't know if that changes anybody's mind or anything. It's 138 gold piece plus 3 silver. Onyx, you get an additional 2 based off what I have for you in my inventory as well.
I know. 2. I want that back.
Yeah, I have it. You'll get it as soon as we distribute the money. You'll get 140 gold. But I don't know if that changes anybody else's mind. Because I think random magical items can kind of come in handy when we least expect them to.
I would like to clarify. I would like to clarify, just so that you make an educated decision. He did not specify that they would always be magical items. It is a stipend of items he can spare weekly. So if it like it could be potions
like
one week,
bows and arrows.
Well, it could be like you get the feeling that it would be meaningful. So it might be like potions that the alchemist could spare. It could be enchanted arrows that are one-time use but are usable in certain situations. It could be consumable scrolls. It could be things that are available in the Dungeon Master's Guide for consumable magic items. Potentially rolling for them. It could be like that. But it's not necessarily like, oh, this week I get my Helm of Blasting. Like, it's not always going to be like that.
So it's consumable items.
You get the feeling that it would be consumable.
Is this only while we're in the human kingdom, or as soon as we're outside the human kingdom, do we stop receiving those gifts?
The stipend will be weekly. It is intended to be weekly. If certain things happen in the world that could delay that, he cannot predict that at this time. So like you'll get the feeling more like it'll probably be couriered to you in some capacity, and he's confident he could get it to you weekly. But like if you're in the middle of a battlefield, right? He probably can't send like an unarmed merchant to go deliver it to you, so it'd be a day late. But if you're closer to the capital, it might be a day early. So it's circumstantial, but you get the feeling that the DM will try to make it every 7 or so days, if possible, somehow, through the will of the human empire, you receive your items.
Guys, I think gold. I think that gives us the most flexibility because we don't know what he would be able. We don't know what his opportunities are going to be able to send us. It just sends us certain things they might not be useful. Gold gives us the most flexibility to buy what we, as individual and diverse party members, need to support not just ourselves, but each other.
I mean, that's a fairly good argument if I ever heard one. I just know that consumable items can be valuable, and we're not trying to gold
spell scrolls can be very expensive.
But
we don't know that he's going to send us scroll.
Exactly, but my concern is we don't know how much gold. Like, it's one thing if it was like 25 gold ahead versus the fact that a potion of healing is 25 gold ahead.
How about this? Let's set a limit. Let's see what he would send us for each. If it's over X amount of gold, we take it heads up. If it's less than X amount of gold, we say, okay, well, what kind of materials would we be expected?
So
is that a fair question, I think?
Yeah, I suppose, but based off of what we know about it, I'd probably guess the value of the items at max would probably be like 25 gold if it's just going off strict potion of healing, enchanted arrows, everything like that. So if the gold allotted is over at least 10 per head, I think it'd be more valuable to have the gold. To be honest, that's 60 gold total.
Anything over 60 gold, we take it, no questions asked.
I'm still like a fan of the items, but yeah, I think you would have my vote if it's over 60 gold. You'll have to talk to everybody else, though.
Others?
I was already thinking the gold was more beneficial anyways because we can use it to buy anything that we may need at the time, including magical items, supplies, pretty much anything that might be needed. And it's like a guaranteed, like we know what we're getting.
True. I agree with that statement.
So, okay, so clarify. If he says 60 gold or more, We're taking it heads up, not even a question or debate.
Yeah, well, you won't get any from me. It sounds like everybody else is down for the gold. So, regardless of whatever it is.
Okay. So can I turn around and ask the king a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Your Majesty, as I, bow a little bit. Sorry, distracted. Your Majesty, as I bow a little bit, could you elaborate what the stipend would be, the items would be on a weekly basis? We do not think that just 2 items would be the most beneficial to on a one-shot basis.
The king looks at you, and the king looks at you, and then he looks up and he looks through the 4th dimension, and he goes, "You get the feeling the dungeon master will roll for it." And then he looks down back at you, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know what that was."
Did anybody else hear some wins?
Wins. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That
and
was
so
weird.
I will be completely upfront with you. I will be rolling for the power of the items based on, and this is a system I have, and the same applies to the money because I know that's the question that's going to come next. So the way these are going to work is they're weekly, so every 7 days, and they function on a standing system. The standing system is a reflection of the overall cohesion and strength of your fighting force as the people who are fighting against the enemy from the stars. As such, your current strength of fighting force is the 6 of you and the king and his assets. The king and his assets are probably going to have a moderate range on a table for what the items or amount of money could be. However, as your allies and assets increase, you get the feeling that the table's scale will raise and become more powerful, both in amount of gold and strength of items. But to do so, you're going to have to add allies to your cause. So it should, in theory, scale with you, so long as nothing bad happens to diminish the strength of your standing force. Which is to say, hypothetically, if a town is destroyed somehow, that's less taxes. That means less money they could send you, or they're going to have to use items to rebuild the town, so worse items for you. But if you're able to repel an attack or overall increase the standing with other towns that are loosely connected with the Empire or are from the north, that you could bring them into the fold, it would increase the amount of taxes or other systems, and it would then scale in the other direction. That is generally the way this is meant to go.
Wait. So is the roll happening and we know that? Like, to clarify?
No. So when the 7 days ellipses, you're going to get your delivery. It will be what the delivery you get will be the delivery you get. It's just when I do it behind the table, behind the DM screen, so to speak, the table in which I utilize will be based off of your actions and the standing of your forces. So,
and that's for both the gold and the magic items.
Correct. So theoretically speaking, like if you're on the lower end, you might get like, roll 1d4 plus 1, you get that many health potions, right? That's kind of like a regular basic bitch health potions. Or it might be like, okay, I roll, you get 4d12 plus 10 gold. It could be that at the lower end. But in theory, at the higher end, once you have 3 kingdoms who are all helping you, it would consolidate into, okay, now you're rolling 4d100 plus 50 gold. Or you're getting potions of superior healing. Like, it scales with your efforts.
Okay, so let's do a straight up 6-person vote here real quick. Gold versus items.
You got me on gold.
I feel like we just kind of did that.
Everybody said gold, and we were waiting.
Everybody said gold. We were literally just waiting for your answer.
As I said before Onyx got brought back, that he had missed 2 minutes.
Yeah. So I think it seems like everyone is leaning towards gold. Yeah.
Your Majesty, we respectfully would ask a weekly gold stipend, as we feel that would be the most beneficial to us in our mission to not just save this kingdom, but save the world.
Wow, that was a mission impossible.
Yeah. he'll go, okay. He goes, I will contact the treasurer, and I will have that brought to you before you leave the castle. The last thing I have for you is this. And then he walks up, and he goes to pull out like a... He pulls out a very familiar sigil that looks basically exactly like the one you already have that you got from the dude at the fort. The sigil that basically makes you exempt from tolls. And lets you go through the checkpoints really quickly. And he's like, so I have this. And he goes, but I was told that you already have one. Is that true?
We hold it up.
Yeah. Okay, then. He goes, then it would be redundant. There's no reason to give you two. That's as good as they're all the same. There is just the show that.
I doubt it. What if we split up?
Wait, a second one might be helpful.
Oh, okay. And he hands it to whoever wants it.
For paper's sake,
I will write it on paper, figure it out, and I swear to God, we will fucking talk at some point.
Okay, so someone takes it. Noodles. So long as someone takes it.
I put the king's easy pass in my inventory because I have no idea where the general's easy pass is.
Perfect. And so then the last thing, and he will walk up very close to all of you. And then he will go here. And he will look at you all in the eyes, and he'll go, allow me to be extremely serious in this last matter. I want you to understand that at the end of the day, I intend for the world to survive, ideally with everyone in it, but that is negotiable. I care most about my kingdom and my people. If I feel at any point you have strayed from your motives, or strayed from your abilities, or cowered in fear, or broken any of the silences I've requested, then I will deem everything in your possession a forgery. The letter will be worth less than the paper it's printed on, and all of your heads will be wanted from now until the end of time. Do not betray my trust. Very few do it, and none have lived long enough to regret it. And he says that with an extremely stern face, and he reaches into his pocket, and you watch as he pulls out a palm-sized, perfectly smooth white stone, and he holds it out. And he goes, this stone, one time per day, can contact me specifically. No matter where you are in the world, no matter how far away you are, no matter what conditions you are in, this stone will always contact me. However, the message can only ever be 25 words. This is for emergencies and large-scale updates. This is not to chat. This is not to brag. This is not to say the king is your friend and you can contact him. This is for end-of-the-world updates and nothing more. And he will hold it out.
Someone will add it. We wrote it.
Sai takes it. Sai, you can add the king's sending stone.
Okay.
So one time per day, you can squeeze that stone, and the next 25 words you say out loud will get copied and sent directly to the king. And then he can respond with a 25-word message back. It takes one action to use.
Did you just use 2 apostrophes? A fucking...
Yeah.
I hate you. I absolutely hate you.
I believe 2 apostrophes is... Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to say it.
He used 2 apostrophes to make a quote symbol.
Oh, instead of just clicking the quote symbol?
Instead of making a quote symbol.
Why is everyone attacking the fuck?
Just so we're clear.
You're tonight's punch.
I hate him for that.
Yeah. Okay. And then after he says that... Stone gifted mission cannot be okay. Yeah, he will say like also just like the map, this cannot be shown, explained, or anyone, even other royals or county leaders. This is not a bragging thing. No one should ever know that you have this because of the security implications of having something that is directly linked to the king, obviously. And so he will establish that very specifically. And then he will say, now, I am not so callous as to ask the world of you and then not offer something in return more so than simply support in what I've already asked you. So, allow me to offer a manner of assistance. If there's anything any of you would like to know that ordinarily you shouldn't, so long as it is not something of unbelievable national security secrecy, I am willing to answer questions to a limited degree for, let's just say, a show of friendship in your personal endeavors, if you should so choose to ask, though I do reserve the right not to answer. Additionally, and he'll reach into his pocket and he'll pull out a different, not magical, just a different piece of paper, but it's sealed, and he'll say, additionally, for one last, well, to call it a reward would not be entirely true, but I will say it is certainly something you can choose to make use of. Take this to the town under construction north of the capital. Find the person in charge of the construction and hand them this unopened, and then they will educate you further on your final assistance from me, other than the questions, if you have any you'd like to ask. And he'll go back to the throne.
Oh, fuck. Questions.
Never ready for any...
It was not ready for questioning.
Yeah. He is floating out the idea, if any of you want to ask, like, about state secrets, so long as they're not crazy, he'll, like, TLDR. Okay, sure, I'll tell you if that's true or not.
Can you...
Does
it be, like, really specific?
I mean, it doesn't be as specific or as vague as you want. You could ask if goblins are real.
I was gonna ask specifically, because the orcs are a part of who we have to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us or give us any information about what... I guess anything more than what is
publicly known.
What is, like, publicly known?
Is there anyone specifically we should reach out to over there?
Like, what started the whatever, the fighting, and do you think it's impossible to unite them with us?
And what he'll say when you bring up the orcs, he kind of, like, rolls his eyes. He'll go, the issue with the orcs is one that has existed long before I was born and will more than likely exist long after. That race of people, and then he looks at Calyx, on the average, simply do not possess a way of life that meshes cohesively with that of the Empire. The way they live their lives are far too free and whimsical compared to our very strict established society with its very strict established rule sets that we all subject ourselves to in the name of fairness and opportunity. That being said, we have been doing some amount of surveillance on the orcs, hoping a day would come where maybe they would see reason and negotiations could be attempted. So far, I could tell you, at least in the most recent reports, that the orcs have been making really strange movements by the border in the last month, maybe few months, and they're starting to form what I hope is untrue, but it appears to be some sort of invading force. They are meshing different clans and tribes together to make extremely large fighting forces that are then being brought under the leadership of other larger fighting forces in an almost cohesive unit, which is generally not the way the orcs act. It appears that all of these orcs are being led by a few choice members, almost the most notable of which are from the Iron Fang tribe. And it seems like they're attempting to leverage their leadership over these large bands of fighters to form what I could only assume is the orcs' version of an alliance with the Bloody Axe tribe. As far as names, the only one we've been able to hear for someone with, like, some reputable amount of input is Slash Bloodclaw. But we've heard that, in a weird sense, that has in itself instigated fighting within the orc tribes from the orcs who feel that the nature of doing such is contradictory to the way the orcs have lived their life and is almost in its sense a twisted version of the empire that they hate, and as such have refused to create large groups, and is somehow locked us in a three-way political issue of imminent attack on all sides. Either a civil war will break out and a side will win, but then neither side will be able to fight us. If we attack first, both sides will come together and fight us, and if they attack us, then the other members of the orc tribe who don't agree with attacking us will then attack them. So no one can really move in this juncture as a result of this weird power dynamic that they've created. But all of that falls apart if the leadership roles in the orc tribes that are being established can win over enough of those orcs that aren't willing to adjust their worldview. So it's a very difficult, very strange situation. It's certainly not something we've seen before, but I can only hope that it works itself out before it comes to blows. Because lords know, when it comes to fighting, especially the monsters from the stars, a couple thousand orcs can definitely help.
Right.
So, sorry to interrupt. Just to make sure to, like, real quickly TLDR this to make sure I have everything right. So there are, like, four major powers in play here. There's the possible Civil War faction who are not a fan of the change of government. The Tribe faction, who's kind of third party and are kind of doing their own thing, but not really picking a side between the Civil War or the new government, which I'm just gonna go ahead and call it dictatorship between the Iron Claw and the Bloody Axe, right?
No. So the coalescing groups are under Iron Claw. So it's three major factions. So it's the Rebellion faction, the Iron Claw / Bloody Axe conglomerate, basically, and then the Human Empire. And everyone knows that if whoever starts it is going to get jumped on two sides, so no one's willing to start yet. And so so you're locked in like a triad, where you're like, the first person to jump is the first person to lose, and so no one wants to jump first because they want to be the one to jump somebody else. Because no one's confident enough that they could overpower both of the other opposition.
Gotcha.
Ophis.
Which you would know as Calyx is extremely uncharacteristic. Because in a lot of circumstances, orcs would jump at the opportunity to have like a massive war to see who's the best. The fact that they aren't willing to do so implies a series of unexpected or not necessarily cultural, but at least systematic changes.
Well, Sai just kind of perfectly asked my question about the current state of affairs and how we're going to get the orc tribe in, so I got nothing right now.
My other question would be, you said that you specifically, your family has been the protectors of that, is it like a crypt or like a guardian, like guarding the dragon general burial? Would you in any way, shape, or form happen to know of the whereabouts of any of the elites that served with him? He mentioned trying to find them, and I wondered if you had any record or knowledge that had been passed down of their existences.
And he'll look at you like sorrowfully, and he'll go, I'm aware of most of them. And then he like kind of gestures to everything, and he goes, 1,000 years ago, my great, however many greats you want, grandfather, served with the Dragon General. I'm sure you've heard the stories of the Sword King Xander, and if you've been to the tomb, I'm sure you've seen the statues. He died at a very young age, protecting everyone, and he has my immortal respect for that, and the respect of the gods, but I can 100% guarantee you he's gone. And believe me, as much as I wish he could come back, he won't be. That's not how this works, unfortunately. Lord knows I've asked the gods. As for everyone else, maybe. The dragons, they live a very long time, and they're extremely intelligent. If they haven't been seen up until this point, it's because they don't want to be. Finding them will be hard. I don't know where you'd start, but you would probably need to find people who have related to them in some way, worked with a old man whose dad's dad claimed to see him 300 years ago flying over a mountain. Folktales, basically, is how you would need to reconstruct their location, or use some other magical method that I'm unaware of. As for his intelligence officer, no one even knows what it looks like. I mean, I couldn't tell you where to start. I feel, though, that is a man who, if he has somehow survived the ages, will more than likely make himself known if he feels he's needed. Maybe. Your best bet, and then he gives like a very annoyed look, the elf. The elf that no one knows where he is, unless you're me, and then you constantly get the updates. And then he like reaches into that like maw section of the dragon's mouth, and he pulls out like a sort of a magical display, like a paper but with a illusory image on it, and he points to the island in the northeast that is forbidden from anyone to travel to, because no one ever returns to it. So sailors just started refusing to go there, claiming monsters and pirates and bandits. And he goes, "Unfortunately, even I'm not allowed there, but I was told when I first got coronated that located somewhere on this island is one very, very old, very, very, very psychotic elf who has somehow withstanded the test of time and has not for 1 minute stopped rambling about the Star Scourge. I have received several magical messages explaining theoretical plans and theoretical assumptions about hypothetical forms they might take, when they might come back, how they might come back, why they could come back, if they could think, how they think. Is thinking possible? Do they know what the word think means? It's just constant updates, which I am appreciative of, but I would wish were of more substance and help, and not as annoying as they were. That being said, if you could somehow reason with the man that he has become, there is no one on this planet who knows more about that enemy and who has thought about fighting that enemy as him. Getting there would be up to you. Even my naval ships can't make it to that island without being destroyed. They've never come back. I don't know what causes it. How you get there would be up to you. And even if you did get there, convincing him would also be up to you. A letter from me does nothing. He cares only about one thing, and that's destroying the thing that took everything from him. I can't say I don't agree, but he certainly goes about it in a interesting manner that I cannot wrap my head around as being ideal. And then I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them.
What about the monster abomination thing? I might have missed that.
That's the statue that was destroyed, right? That you
yes.
recreated? Yeah, so he doesn't know what that statue is of because he didn't recreate it. So you guys discovered that, but there was no plaque to read for him. You passed the intelligence check, he did.
Didn't we get something to like learn his name, or am I remembering?
Well, yeah, you rolled like a 20 on investigation with Brontes to decipher what you thought the plaque would have said when it was unbroken, but it was like shattered and basically unrecognizable, and you were able to conclude that it was a Bahir, and then it had like a name that I don't have my notes in front of me, but it had a name, but you didn't know, there was no more details you could discern with the plaque because it was so destroyed.
Okay. And if I'm just remembering correctly, the name of the elf was the Bronze King, and their plaque said, failure to protect the ones you love is a fate worse than death,
The
right?
the Bronze King was one of the trio of the Dragon Corps. That was
Oh, gotcha.
Cinderhorn, I believe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because it was Cinderhorn, the Bronze King, Argos, the Silver Knight, and a gold dragon whose name escapes me at the moment because I don't have the notes open. But there was one of the big three metal dragons. Well, three of the big three metal dragons. The gold and his two generals were silver and bronze.
And then there was the creature Bahir, the Fulgrite, the blue flash, right?
Yes, yeah, that's what it was. The blue flash.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And then the intelligence officer was called Monster, but he was just depicted as like a dude in a robe. You don't know what he looks like. And then the Sword King Xander, but you know he's dead. And then the elf, whose name just escapes me at the moment, but I'll find it. Okay. It'll probably come to me.
I'm going to the king. Hypothetically, how do you think the elf would react to have confirmed information that the Star Scourge was coming back? How do you think he'd take that?
If we're
being like break him mentally, hypothetically, if this elf exists on this unknown island, would this break him mentally or make him very excited for his revenge? Just so we know what to expect. Hypothetically.
He looks at you with a very tired expression, and he goes, "He told me they were back before Abigail did. He knows." Oh. And then he takes that paper that he pulled out that I said had like magical illusions on it, and he flips it around, and you see what appears to be this big stone and ice magical facility of some kind. This big like fortress in like this tundra of just sheets and sheets of ice. It looks completely unlivable, if not for like magical barriers and wards. And it looks at, and you see it with several large metallic tubes of some kind, all pointed at different directions, all pointing at the sky. And you see a night sky completely black, dotted with stars, and like purples and greens, auroras rainbowing out throughout the sky. And all these tubes move constantly and readjust and point at different sides of the stars. And he goes, "He's been watching for 800 years. He was waiting for this. Unfortunately for us, he gets what he wants. I would rather they had never come back at all."
I don't have any more questions, and I also like really need to sleep.
Oh yeah, it's like 10:30.
Damn, I should make another drink.
Your Majesty, I do not have any questions for you. I appreciate your help, and I appreciate the assistance you are offering us. Wink, wink, hint, hint, that you're not offering us to help us
wink, wink,
get this through.
He taps on his nose. Now you're getting it. He goes, "Well then, at the very least, while I cannot say publicly what you are doing, there is no reason I can't endorse you as champion heroes of the nation, hell-bent on doing good for all that come in contact with them. Who should I say to the public that is their new shining stars? What do you all call yourselves?"
We go by the Dragon's.
You cut out. Can you say it again?
That was the most anticlimactic.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out. None of it happened. Say it again like that didn't happen.
I hope this will be a short.
That is the perfect cliffhanger for like a short.
We will be
the dragon
blank.
Okay. So rewinding time, and the king goes, right. "What do I call you?"
We are the Dragon's Claw.
The Dragon's Claw, and he makes a mental note of that. Okay, and then he will say, "Well then, I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. May the gods see us all through this unimaginable horror. Speaking of the gods," and then he looks over his like right shoulder at the dude in platinum armor, and he goes, "Now you can talk to him. Do it outside." And then he goes back and sits on the throne, and you are escorted out of the throne room and followed by this very large platinum armor wearing, holy light emitting silent gentleman as you all walk out of the throne room, and then
Did we collect our belongings?
Well, yes, but I'm gonna say as you
We're
walk
not
out of the
throne room yet. Shut
out
up.
of the throne room, and as the doors close behind you, the camera focuses on the king, giving one last smirk. At the very least, the next few months for him, death or no death, should at least be fairly fun to live through. And he is appreciative of that, if nothing else. And that is where we will end it. Until next time.